Hello and welcome to your flow. We're going to start today in a reclined butterfly, coming to lay down flat on your mat, bringing the soles of the feet together and then knees bent, opening up at the hips, letting them fall along either side. Maybe lifting up your tailbone and then gently resting it back down. Same thing with your chin, getting the full spine supported onto the mat, completely flat. Perhaps using any blocks or props to support your knees, or letting gravity pull them towards the mat. Starting to shut down your eyes or lower your gaze. Starting to quiet down the mind. Letting go of any obligations, tasks, ruminations, and choosing to bring your attention to your physical senses. Noticing the parts of your body that are exposed to air, touching the mat, the feeling of the clothing that you're wearing. Noticing the sounds around you, perhaps even of your own breath. And starting to scan the body, purposefully relaxing your muscles as you scan, letting go of effort. Taking deep inhales, letting your belly expand, your ribs spread wide, feeling it all the way up into your chest, completely filled and inflated. And on the exhales, emptying out, allowing the belly to come towards your spine. You get heavier, your legs drop wider. Bringing your attention to your breath and focusing on creating a rhythm that energizes you, nourishes you, grounds you. If you want to work with an intention for your practice, something to connect to your breath and help anchor you, I invite you to choose one now. For me today, I've been spiraling and spazzing, and this is a good opportunity for me to remember control. That although I cannot control the things that I need to do, or my interactions, or any surprises that might pop up to make life interesting, I can control my responses, my reactions, my emotions. And so for me, my mantra will be, as I inhale, I am in control. Taking a few more moments here to solidify your breath and intention before we start to move. Bringing your hands to help your legs close. Oof. Bringing your knees together. Plant your feet now right underneath your knees at the center of your mat. stacking your knees over your heels. You're likely able to graze the back of your heels with your fingertips, and then plant your hands, palms down, along either side of you to come into bridge. On the inhale, you'll curl your tailbone up, send your knees forward, and allow the breath to lift up throughout your chest. And on the exhale, slowly start to roll down vertebrae by vertebrae, bringing your hips down last. Inhale, curling up into bridge. Getting a little bit higher, squeezing the glutes at the top, and exhale, bring it down. Matching your rhythm of breath to your movement. Noticing space created every time you rise up. Noticing if you're holding any tension in your face or in any muscles that don't need to be involved. The next time you inhale, we're going to pause at the top of the bridge. Inhale. So slight pause. Continue to breathe here. Perhaps rolling your shoulders underneath you, bringing your fingers to interlace, pressing your pinkies into the mat. Can you squeeze your glutes and lift up a little bit higher? Your breath is your guide. You're holding your breath. If it's quickening, maybe backing off. Getting ready to come down, maybe releasing the bind in your fingers if you had it. And we'll slowly exhale as slowly as you can, rolling down each vertebrae at a time before your tailbone comes in. Bring your knees in towards your chest and give it a tight squeeze, coming into a tight little ball. And start rocking back and forth or side to side. Put your hands onto your shins and start making circles with your knees, big circles, getting a massage in your lower back as it presses into the mat. Alternating directions, not doing this for long. And then settling in at the center. Extend your left leg long, keeping your right knee in. And on the exhale, take a twist, guiding your leg towards the left, maintaining both shoulders firmly rooted onto the mat. On the inhale, you create some space between your hips and your ribs, feeling longer. And on the exhale, perhaps sinking a little deeper into the twist. Inhale, come back to center, bring both knees in. And exhale, bring your right leg long this time, keeping the left knee tucked. Take an inhale and exhale, twisting opposite direction. Staying in your twist, just roll over completely and come onto your belly. Plant both forearms in front of you, elbows underneath your shoulders, pressing your hands into the mat, your pelvis, and the tops of your feet into the mat as well. Inhale, allow for your chest to come through your arms, squeezing the glutes, Sphinx pose. Breathing here in this opportunity to open up the chest, maybe doing a few neck rolls as well. On your next exhale, pressing into your forearms and into the tops of your feet, start curling your body inwards, and then lift up your hips, looking in between your legs. Inhale, lower down your hips gently, come back into Sphinx, and we'll flow through this kind of core engagement, plank variation. So inhaling for Sphinx as slowly as you can, and exhaling, taking up into your forearm plank variation. Maybe pausing slightly in your plank, building some heat as you engage the core. The next time you're in that plank, pause and curl your toes under to come into a regular forearm plank. Start walking your feet inward, sending your hips towards the sky until you can't come in any closer, and tending your heels towards the mat for dolphin. Breathing here, making sure your shoulders are engaged, you're not just dropping into them. Walking your feet back, coming back into plank, and either dropping your knees first, or inhale, plant your left hand down, and then your right, coming into the top of a push-up plank pose. Breathing in between your shoulder blades. We're almost done with the core. Exhale, send your bum back, come into a downward dog. Any movement is welcome here in our first downward dog, pedaling out the feet, wagging the tail. And then finding some stillness. Drop your head and tend those heels towards the mat and curl your sit bones up towards the sky. Inhale, come high up on your tippy toes and roll like a wave into plank. Exhale, bend the knees, send your bum back, downward dog. Inhale, roll like a wave. Exhale, downward dog. Last one, come like a wave. Exhale, downward dog. Bring big toes to touch in downward dog. Inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open up the hips. Stacking your hips, knees towards the ceiling. Your heel is towards your bum, but your shoulders are still parallel. Maybe even peeking underneath your right underarm to see your foot. Come high up onto your right foot, roll like a wave, bring your leg with you, have your knee kiss your left shoulder. Pausing here in plank, and then drop your left leg next to your left pinky. Drop your right knee. So in this kind of wide-legged, low lunge, start having a slight tuck of the pelvis, start sending your pelvis towards the mat, getting a nice stretch in your inner thighs, perhaps even rolling onto the outside of your left pinky toe. Perhaps even coming onto your forearms again, getting a little bit lower into it. Breathing here as we're warming up that opening in the hips. And then if you're rolled onto your foot, coming flat onto it. Coming onto your hands if you're on your forearms, pop up off of your right knee and take a big step to the top of your mat. Your right foot lands outside of your right pinky toe. Wide-legged forward fold at the top of your mat. Let it all go. Start heel-toeing your feet just about hip-width apart. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on shins, flat back. Sit bones curl towards the sky and the weight of your body is shifting towards your toes. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, generous bend in the knees and pause. Reach your arms forward, your biceps are hugging your ears, and then pick your upper body off your legs, keeping your legs at that 90-degree angle chair pose. Knees are stacked over your heels. Breathing here always. Weight is in the heels. We'll start shifting it towards without moving anything in our legs, shifting the weight towards our toes. Pick up off of your heels, send your arms behind you. Bird of prey, playing with balance. Start straightening out your legs on your tippy toes, bringing your arms wide and up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, come flat on your feet and fold over. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, downward dog. Bringing toes to touch in downward dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Three-legged dog, bend the knee, open up the hip. Coming high up on your left foot, like a wave, slow through water. Come towards plank, bringing your right knee to touch your right shoulder. Pause, and then drop your right foot beside your right pinky. Drop your left knee and find your wide-legged lunge variation, whether you're back onto your forearms, the outer edge of your foot, whatever feels right. Honoring that line between effort and ease. Perhaps shutting down the eyes and sending your breath directly towards that tightness, creating space. Noticing how you can control the sensation by inhaling a certain way through your exhale, through your connection to that muscle. Coming back flat onto your foot and onto your fingertips if you were anywhere else. Pop up off of that back knee and take a big step to the top of the mat. Wide-legged forward fold. Drop your head. Heel toe your feet in to about hip width apart, maintaining that fold. And inhale, come to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, generous bend of the knees, pause. Reach your arms forward. Peel your upper body up, come into chair. Breathing here, feeling strong, feeling warm. Shifting the weight now into the toes, lifting off our heels on our tippy toes. Send your arms behind you. Chest proud, gaze forward. Start straightening out the legs, reach your arms up. Inhale, inflate, take off, and exhale, come back onto your heels, fold over. Let it all out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, downward dog. Taking a little break here for the opportunity to flow. Inhale through plank. We'll do a similar variation to how we started it. Pausing in plank, coming through forearm plank. Drop the knees, drop the hips. Inhale, Sphinx. Uncurl your toes. Exhale, pressing into the feet and the forearms. Come back into plank, curling your toes under. Pop up onto your hands, top of a push-up. Exhale, downward dog. Beautiful. Adding a bit more to our flow, bring big toes to touch in downward dog. Inhale, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open up the hip. You won't stay here long this time. Inhale, come high up on your tippy toes. Roll like a wave. Bring your left knee to left shoulder and then plant the foot down on the outside of your left hand. Drop your right heel down, coming in line with your left foot. See if you can get as close as possible, your arm connected to your left leg. And then bring your right arm to touch your left arm and start gliding it across, opening up at the chest and reaching it towards the ceiling. 2 more times, bringing it back to the wrist. Glide your arm to open up and reach up, look up. Last one. And pause, take a deep breath here. And on your exhale, press into your legs and come all the way up, warrior 2. In warrior 2, you're intending your left knee towards your left pinky toe, firmly rooted in both feet. Slight tuck of the tailbone always, protecting that core and reaching along either side of you. Flip your front palm, inhale, exalt your warrior, reach your left arm back, getting a nice stretch in your left side body, not a back bend. Breathing into it, creating space in from your hip crease all the way up to your fingertips. Perhaps even playing with straightening out that left leg. And exhale, come back to warrior 2. Bring your left hand to the mat or a block and start heel toeing your back leg in, bringing your right hand to your hip. We're going to take off here, so maybe using your left arm a little bit, about a foot ahead and slightly to the right. Start shifting your weight into your left foot, dragging your right foot with you, and lift off, bringing your right heel in line with your hips. I recognize that I needed to shift my left arm slightly towards the left a little bit more, so noticing what helps you with your balance and honoring that. Breathing here, keeping that right leg flexed. It is much easier to carry than dead weight. And then bend the right leg, intending your right heel towards your bum cheek, maybe even reaching for it with your hand or a strap. Woo! Recognizing that you might fall out of it, and that is completely okay. We can't control everything. We can control our reaction, our ego. Getting a nice stretch in that quad is all we're aiming to do. Breathing into it. And then releasing the bind. Take a step back, coming back into your warrior 2, just to transition. And wave your hands down, plant them to frame the foot, step back, downward dog. Opportunity for a break or to flow. Inhale through plank. Exhale, lower one forearm and then the next. Take a breath here in your plank and then drop your knees, drop your hips, inhale through Sphinx. Your next exhale, pushing into your forearms and the tops of the feet, come back into plank, curling those toes under. Inhale to plant your right hand, then your left, and exhale, we're back in downward dog. All meeting there. Big toes touch in downward dog. Inhale, right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Inhale, come high up on your tippy toes, roll like a wave, right knee to right shoulder, and then drop the right foot. Drop your back heel, situate yourself, attempting to press your right shoulder against your right knee, and then bringing your left hand to your right wrist, slowly roll yourself open, reaching up. 2 more, match movement to breath, mind-body connection. On your last one, pausing there. Take a deep inhale, exhale, push into your feet, take off, lift off, coming into warrior 2. Making any necessary adjustments, feeling your body for alignment. Inhale, flip your front palm and reach it behind you. Side body stretch. If you straightened out your leg in the last round, maybe doing it here. Where's your edge? Where's your breath? Your next exhale, you're coming back to warrior 2 and starting to prep yourself for that supported half moon. Quad stretch, bringing your right arm down next to you, perhaps heel toeing the left foot in first. Now I'm going to take what I learned and bring my right hand just about a foot ahead of me, a little bit to the right. And then shifting the weight into the right foot, take off with your left, bringing the heel in line with your hips, open up. Hips are stacked, foot is engaged. Focusing on one point on the ground to help with balance, using blocks or props to bring the earth closer to you. And when you're feeling balanced, working towards bending at the knee and getting a bit of a quad stretch. This is all bonus. It's not in the cards today. It's not in the cards. We can't control that. This side we'll do a bit more gracefully. We always want to save energy to come out with control. So letting go of the bind, step back into your warrior 2. Warrior 2 for a moment to transition. And wave your arms down, step back, downward dog. Opportunity to flow. Inhale through plank. Exhale, left forearm down, then right. Drop your knees, drop your hips. Inhale through Sphinx. Exhale, curl inwards. Curl your toes underneath. Take an inhale to plant your left hand, then your right hand this time. And exhale, downward dog. Bring big toes to touch in downward dog. Last bit of movement before we start to slow down. Inhale, left leg lifts, 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Perhaps even flipping your dog, coming onto your left fingertips. Seeing if you can do this with control, looking to take a step behind you with that left foot. And then lifting the hips up, reaching behind you. Saving energy to come out with just as much control. Back in our downward dog, 3-legged dog. And then like a wave, rolling into plank, send your left knee towards your left shoulder, drop the foot, drop your back heel. Only one flow this time, right hand to your left wrist, open up, peel open, and exhale, come to warrior 2. From warrior 2, inhale, flip the front palm, exalt your warrior. Exhale, warrior 2. Heel toeing your right foot in this time, We'll try to hover in our half moon float. So dipping downwards as you reach your right foot out. Ooh. Playing with balance, the ultimate lack of control. On your exhale, bend into that left knee, find your warrior two, and wave your arms down, step back, downward dog. Opposite side, big toes touch, we'll go straight in it. Inhale, right leg lifts, three-legged dog, bend the knee, open up the hip. Thinking of flipping your dog over, coming high up on your right fingertips to give some space as you step behind you and reach your hips up. Switching the direction, of course, of your left foot. You'll notice it does it automatically. And then coming back to your three-legged dog, roll like a wave, hit your right knee and shoulder to kiss. Drop the right foot. Drop your back heel, right and left wrists touch. Peel open. Left arm reaches towards the sky. Big inhale, exhale, come to warrior two. Inhale, flip your right palm, reach up behind you, exalt your warrior. Exhale, warrior two. And then you know where we're going, floating half moon, heel toeing your back leg in, dipping your upper body, reaching towards that right side, a little bit of head, take off with the left foot. Playing with your balance. When you're ready to quit playing, exhale to step back, warrior two. Wave your hands down and step back into downward dog. From downward dog, bring your knees down, flip over onto your bum. Inhale to reach your arms up. Exhale, bring them forward and slowly curl yourself all the way down to your mat. Any movement that you're craving is welcome here. Or you can join me for Shavasana, bringing one foot to one corner, the other to the opposite. Long spine and palms facing up, eyes shut. Shavasana immediately after the practice, feeling your heart race. Noticing the space and the heat you've created in your body. Letting go of effort. Letting go of any lingering tension in your muscles. Finding quiet and stillness. My voice will guide you out of your meditation in 1 minute. You're welcome to stay in this pose for as long as you like. Coming to the end of our practice, you can also start joining me in coming out, coming back to your body and breath, wiggling your fingers and toes, circles with your wrists and ankles. Take an inhale for a big morning stretch, reach your arms up. And exhale, roll over onto either side, finding a fetal position, using your arm as a pillow. Keeping your eyes shut and taking the opportunity as always to say something kind to yourself. And then slowly making your way into a seated position. Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace.